Well, what fund did we borrow from here? We borrowed from something before the
I
census
think
first.
it's liability insurance.
Yeah, I think that was just a transfer.
Yeah, but we gotta put that back in within a certain amount of time, don't we?
I think within a year. So, I don't know if that's something you guys want me to check into, or just kinda, get by.
You don't expect nothing else in,
Mm-mm.
get the local use tax,
Of course,
sales tax.
what's the date? It'll be what's Tuesday's date for payroll? That'll be the first of the year, or the first of the month we'll have.
It'd be the fourth one. Saturday's the first.
Yeah, so we can get fees again, I mean,
It's getting crunch time for me. I just got my cards in. I've gotta make test decks.
I don't know if it's something, I just wanted to ask if it was something you wanted me to look into more and get some real hardcore figures about what needs to be.
Well, how much did we borrow from the
Liability fund.
liability fund, do you remember?
That's 60.
It's right around Christmas, was it not? It was after Christmas.
I thought it was after the first year, was it not?
I'd have to check the date on that.
Well, whatever that is needs to be, we're only allowed to borrow a certain amount for an anticipation loan, correct?
Yes.
Or whatever that whatever that amount is, we might as well subtract this off, correct?
If you, Mr. Sean.
That's what I'm thinking, because it's gonna be paid back. What's your thoughts, Dollars?
How are we running on our liability insurance account?
I think it's, I didn't check the
Because we're-
balance, we're pretty good in it.
Because we're paying
The
part of the health insurance.
Out of that, so. I can get all these numbers together if it's something you guys.
Yeah, once you
Okay.
get those numbers, so let's send those
Okay,
accounts for us.
maybe next Tuesday we can have something. And that tax sales Friday, so.
That put some money in the account, won't it? Is that real estate or mobile homes? Oh, no.
You're all the time selling something.
Is it down in the basement? What would it be?
I think it's gonna be, I haven't been down there to see the condition of it.
I think you're back together, ain't you?
Everything back squared away,
Just
then that's
gotta-
where it'll be.
Put the tile, or, tile down and stuff. But you can walk over it.
We don't need no tile. Did you put your hand in the concrete? Well, the three commissioners did. We went down there and put our
Did you
hands in it and
seriously?
dated it. No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
seriously. They might have, I didn't.
No.
We weren't here.
All right.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Answering machine yesterday, I just thought I'd pass it along.
Have you got a list or?
Yeah, actually, he was here this morning, Mr.
Overnight.
Overnight.
Joe, what about these, like from January to, April, the overweight vehicle fines?
Well, I was gonna bring that up today and talk about that a little bit. I mean, I've had several calls about,
Probably this same guy called you, maybe about it,
well, one road that they're talking about in particular is Coleman Road.
yeah, Home Road.
Somebody really had tore that up pretty bad with some heavy trucks, and I don't know if it's
Where's
on
Coleman
grade
Road
or
at?
what it is.
Coming
The
out
one that
around.
you asked us to grade at one time on the end of,
Well, I asked the guy about hauling grain on that last night. He has not gone that way. He's going the other way from where it's tore up. School bus. His only heavy truck is gone. That has left those grain bins and headed towards,
Man,
it'd be what? No,
well, it's.
towards what I call the north.
Hit up Massac Creek Road, going, if, once you hit that P, if you go to the right,
Yeah.
it tore up really, really, really bad. Whoever called me, and whoever called David said that I was hauling grain this way, tore it up. Once it was tore up this way, decided to start going the other way and tore it up. I don't know if that's true or not true. That's just what they tell me.
When I was out there, it was a whole lot worse between, you know, if they'd have left their facility and went to the blacktop. If they turned left, leaving their grain bins.
I haven't even been out there, so I don't even know
But
which way
any-
that is.
but
Going to
any-
Rosebud Road or going?
Rosebud Road, yes, that's what that's the road I couldn't think of. Between Rosebud Road and,
But
it was horrible.
I guess
But-
that, I looked up the law on that, and we could put seasonal postings on roads. It has to be by ordinance or by resolution. You guys have to pass an ordinance or resolution on it, and then we can put a sign right there. I don't know for sure, I'd have to check and ask some people, but from what I've read in the law, I didn't see where it directed you as to what weight limit to put on there. I think that's up to your discretion as to what you think that the road it can handle. Obviously, the conditions that the road were last week, it can't even handle a car, so.
Well, about this situation you're talking about, I know who that is that did that. Why couldn't they come out, Rosebud Road and, what is it, the closest one to 145 there?
It goes into Comer
Massac
Road.
Creek. Yeah, yeah. And
Comer Road just makes a loop, doesn't it?
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah, it angles up through there and hits 145 eventually.
They're not but about a half a mile or less from 145 and go, that would limit the whole road being tore up, you know, maybe just a half a mile of it if they had to get out of there.
Well, where's it, are they saying the road's torn up on tar and chip or gravel? Cause it's gravel where I'm talking about.
I mean, it is tearing up tar and chip roads all
Oh,
over the
yeah.
county too. I mean, and that's kind of my point. I mean, we could do this, but I don't know where you begin and where you stop. I mean, you know, I know there's isolated incidents like this where some of the roads are extremely bad, and that may be places to start, but then you're actually, I don't even know who it is, but you're actually singling somebody out.
Yeah.
Okay? Which I know is a problem, but it's just, you know, and I know things are businesses and you gotta do things at certain times, but, you know, some people may have to use a little common sense and maybe wait a couple weeks or something and not haul at the very worst time of the year. I mean, when it's completely frozen, it's fine to haul.
Most of the time,
When it's
that is
dry,
the
it's
case.
completely fine to haul, but when you, I mean,
It's
it
a
seems
freeze-
like.
We don't normally have a freeze in the fall like we have had.
Yeah, I mean, it's just this window of time, and we, you know, we can't go out there. Somebody called me, and they didn't leave their name. I'm pretty upset about it yesterday, and wanted me to do something. I'm like, well, I can't go out there and just throw a barricade up and close the road. I mean, that's just not, you know, we can't do that. But, you know, the channels that we have to go through are only so good, and even, you know, say we put a 5-ton limit on the road, I mean, which is 10,000 pounds, I mean, that would help, but it would, the conditions that the roads were last week, 5 tons would tear the road up if you repeatedly went across it.
Yeah, the problem, most of those farmers, right after first year is when they go to hauling, you know, and that's the worst time.
So, you know, I mean, I'm looking for, you know, I know it's an issue, and I know, you know, people that are just in regular vehicles that are having a hard time passing some of these roads after they've been tore up. But I really don't have a good answer to the problem. We can. So, it's one of those things where if you sign and post one or two of these roads, I mean, you know, I could look into whether or not there could be a county-wide weight restriction during certain seasons, but I don't know that would be a good thing to do either, because that would prevent a lot of things from happening. I don't know, any advice as to what to look into, what you would suggest? I mean, some of the roads that I drove on last week in my pickup truck, just repeated pickup truck travel would tear it up. I mean, there's no secret to it, when the roads are in that mushy condition, there's little to nothing we could do to fix them at that point in time. And there's little or nothing that we could do to prevent it from happening unless everybody just stayed off the road until it dried up.
Are all those ditches in good condition?
Ditches,
Yeah, I'm thinking that, you think that moisture's staying
Well,
into the road instead
that's
of getting out?
that's a major problem, is the ditching.
I believe it is too.
You know, but we, I've talked about it with David a lot, we could put 2 or 3 guys out ditching forever and never catch up. I mean, that's,
They're gonna seal shut by the time they get back to them.
we do not, countywide, I mean, there's several ditches that are in good shape, but there's a ton of them that are not. I mean, yeah, we could spend forever ditching, and, we plan on, right now, we can't really ditch right now, but, when things thaw out, we can start ditching, and we plan on being out there to start ditching in certain places, but you can only ditch so much.
But I think that would help, don't you?
Yeah.
Get rid of that water.
It would help it drain, but when you're talking about freezing and thawing, when it thaws out, water can drain off of it easier. But there's still that period of time that's
Freezing
a
and
shorter
thawing
window.
will really worse than anything.
Exactly.
It all got heaped up.
The winter that we've had with the continual cycles, it seems like, I know it's froze pretty hard, but we do get, weeks like this where you have 40
Yeah.
degrees for 5 days straight, which thaws out the upper 6 inches. to
It
a
would
foot.
had been better if it stayed froze for 60 days straight.
It's the continual cycles that really.
I went up, from 145 up Temple Hill Road, there at Pullen Farm, yesterday with a load of drum, and it's tore all to pieces too. I think they're all tore all to pieces, every county.
Yeah. So, I mean, in posting certain roads, I mean, it's legal to do it, and it's up to the discretion of us in this room to pass a resolution or something to do it, and then put the signs out. But even so, putting a sign out is just that, it's putting a sign out. And you have to have somebody to police it. There's nothing to stop an overloaded truck from driving any of these roads, even if the sign's out there, unless the cop is out there with ticket book, and maybe, I don't even know what they would have to do to prove that they're overweight. They'd probably have to take them to a scale somewhere, weigh them, and do all this and that and the other, and it's not just as simple as what one would think. So,
Yeah, they've almost, I mean, they've got to get the grain sold, about that time, most of them. I really don't know what to do about that.
it's almost one of these things where, I know it's hard on people, but we just have to muddle through it.
Yeah.
Do the best we can, and get it, I mean, we're out grading right now. Yesterday and today, all of our graders are out, trying to fix roads and cut them back down and get them.
Well, I've had some compliments on your roads as far as the grading goes. Tar and chip is just the way it is. It's nobody's fault. It's just,
Come tomorrow, tomorrow and Thursday is probably gonna be too cold to be out grading again. It's probably gonna freeze it again. And we're gonna deal with another thaw, probably come the weekend or next week. So I expect it to happen again, until we get consistent above 30 temperatures. It's gonna continue to be bad.
anything else happening?
We did not buy that truck. We went out, we talked to the fella, and there were a few things that we wanted them to address and fix before we bought it. We went down there, and one of the items wasn't addressed. And basically, just a problem with, we don't exactly know the problem with it. Kevin thought he knew what the problem was, but
Or the engine problem?
well, it started up, it started the right way, you drive it for a while, when you stop it, it won't start again. And I think it's a problem with that exhaust regeneration system. And it happened to one or two of our trucks that we have in our fleet right now, and the solution that they had to take it somewhere, I think to Murray, to get it hooked up onto the computer and have the system or something bypassed, and it didn't have that problem since, and, you know, they thought that maybe if we did that, to this new one, we could get by with it, but I just didn't want to get it by.
Don't make no sense in buying a problem.
Yeah, I mean, we got 7 problems on the lot right now, we don't need to buy any.
Yeah.
Not to say we can avoid that, you know, forever, but we just chose not to buy it. So we're gonna continue to look.
That works.
Other than that, I can't think of anything else besides those things.
I saw some one county down there at South Prairie, they got a little thing like, well, I never saw it before last day or two. It's an old state truck that they've got.
Who's got?
I think it's Johnson County, maybe Pulaski. Little thing like,
Oh, you seen it at the,
Prairie,
yeah.
little orange truck.
You know, a few times a year, they're supposed to have surplus equipment auctions. And we've been watching, they haven't posted any this year yet, but I'm thinking it's gotta be coming up soon, you know, April, May, maybe, maybe they don't have, the last one they had was September of last year. And maybe they only have one a year now, I don't know, but I'm continually watching that website to see if there's gonna be a surplus auction, you know, for Illinois. You know, we'll look into that if there is one. Other than that, you know, there's other auctions that go on around. I know there's, got a mailer on one the other day, there's a huge auction down in Montgomery, Alabama, with a bunch of equipment. Mostly county and city-owned stuff.
Have you, Joe, been in those meetings on that fracking?
I've heard a little bit about it.
I went to one up at Diana, and I didn't realize it was such a debate. I happened to go to the one that was against it, and I didn't know that the one I was going to, but I did. And there's some of them that's really aggravated about it, and then, of course, there's some that has sold, got a lease, you know, and that Glenn Brown.
There's a lot of people that are against it for environmental reasons, and
Well,
road departments are against it because of the, you know, damage that it causes to roads and stuff.
As far as them, what, trucking, or just extra traffic on those?
The heavy loads and the continual heavy loads
Yeah.
that fracking involves. From what I hear, the main problem is, well, number one, the equipment going in there, but they have to continually truck water in for the operation. It's heavy and it's just repetitive
Just
loads.
one semi-load after another.
well, tell me something that I can't understand about that. They said they could go down and 90 degree and go, I think it was 1.5 miles horizontal. Well, now, that 5 acres I've got out there that I live on, do I own to the center of the earth on that 5 acres?
Depends now, there's property rights and there's also mineral rights. And some places, I think, you don't own mineral rights to. I mean,
If I did, how could they suck gas and oil out of my property?
I don't know. I don't think
I
they
don't
could
either.
unless they own the mineral rights. But
I guess they checked that out before they ever,
that'd be a
Drill.
good attorney question, I don't know. Yeah, I know where, you know, just because I just bought a place here in the last couple months, but the deed on my place, I don't own the mineral rights to mine. They could probably do it out there underneath me if somebody sold them the mineral rights.
well, they had found this guy had a well and, he turned the faucet on and it was just like milk in that glass. He was having to buy water in town had a tank on trailer and pull it to his house to.
One
I'm glad that didn't happen down here. I was talking to county clerks, like up Saline County and Franklin County.
Yeah.
Those title searchers just flooded them.
Well, that Miss Whitehead, do you know her?
Robin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She sold hers, right?
Did you?
And that guy on the board with us, Shawnee, Stewart, Phil Stewart, he sold his. So, I don't know what's right and wrong about it.
I'm not sure that anybody plans on doing any fracking in Massac County.
I guess there's not enough rock down in there, is
There's
there?
not, the geology isn't right here for it really, for the most part of the county, but maybe.
Because, I mean, we did not, there was one summer about 3 years ago where there was some fella in there doing mineral rights studies all summer long. But boy, when this all started out, it was just counties north of us that got hammered.
I know, yeah, like, what you're saying, White County was one of the big ones, Franklin County. I think maybe Hamilton too, I don't know, but I know White and Franklin are actively involved in that now.
Wait.
So those checks, gonna have to keep.
So where do you want my signature? Do you?
They usually send a resolution with it.
Well, that's I was kinda confused. We went through this once, didn't we?
Yeah.
On a whole stack of checks. Maybe I've got it here. Is that it right there?
That's it.
Resolution, okay. Just wanna make sure I got, sign where you want me to sign. Why does it say the deed to my house going to John?
They had it for a command post, and they've actually got a command trailer and don't have use for it, and, they would like to, still see it be put to use someplace, and all we have to do basically is go get it, and bring it here. I did ask the question, I said, it does run, and they said, yes, I'm not towing a vehicle back to Massac County, if I can drive it home, I'll, but, so.
You wanna see him or you already seen him?
But,
Hey, did you ever check on did the fair board, did you ever measure them buildings? I was asking about that at the fair board meeting, but I didn't know whether you'd ever been out there or what was going on. I kinda dropped the ball. You popular guy?
I talked to Roseanne,
Okay.
and
Yeah, Nate.
my understanding was they just got used every square inch out there.
Okay.
No, the buildings are sitting empty.
Yes.
The biggest thing you.
Are you talking about this building, like where they actually have their exhibits and stuff, the main
Yes,
building?
I'm talking about the park, this truck under or whatever.
Okay. Have you got a contact person? Should I talk to Roseanne again, or is there somebody better to talk to?
I might want to talk to her if you got if you got her number or something.
Okay.
I think she's out there every day, isn't she? One of them ladies is.
I
I can't
think
remember who's in charge of cooking for one of the school programs
yeah,
or something.
Yeah.
I still need to use that as a polling place.
Well, yeah, that's what I was.
Joe, you look sharp in this.
Yeah. Gotta get a CDL driving that.
Yeah.
Probably weighs less than that truck, doesn't it?
Yeah, probably. So.
Jason, you really spiffed it up since the election's coming up.
Oh, yeah, I'm wearing a nice shirt.
You are.
Cleaned up.
Spend a little money on clothing.
Up this budget. Looks good to me, if you're
Okay.
asking my blessing. Do you think we need that in the form of a motion or anything?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, and I'll talk to Roseanne.